Meet Rob Gronkowski.
What are you doing?
Four-time Super Bowl champion and living legend.
Are you serious?
Many of you know him as Gronk. Monster on the field and madman till the sun comes up.
I don't want to work with him no more. Why is he here? Why are you here? What is wrong with you? You're mentally imbalanced.
Gronk has made a name for himself for having fun and getting it done all at the same time. Again.
The defense really got the W, La Victoria.
Hola, me llamo Roberto.
And again. Today, we put that all to the test. Can a party animal truly dominate the game of football? Can this wild child deliver elite play? Claims is here to prove it. Believe it or not, he's the all-pro tight end who claims his infamous partying actually made him a better football player. Sounds crazy, right? It's 2010, and the New England Patriots offense needs a new weapon.
5 seconds. Got it filled out. Rob Gronkowski, tight end.
Yeah, I'm here.
Right now.
Go.
With the 42nd pick in the 2010 NFL Drafts, the New England Patriots select Rob Gronkowski, tight end, Arizona.
Enter 6'6", 265-pound Rob Gronkowski, drafted in the second round with the 42nd pick out of Arizona. From day one, he was a walking public relations nightmare.
It's straight from the horse's mouth. It seems that the Patriots chose him 42nd overall.
He was all hyped up and he was flipping out, put the helmet on, screaming. They saw him on TV doing that, and 2 minutes later, he got a call from the Patriots organization saying, just get off the camera, Rob. He was, an hour into it, he was already getting calls to get away from the cameras.
He almost didn't become a Patriot due to pre-draft concerns. He was coming off major back surgery that wiped out his junior year, and his personality had some in Foxborough raising eyebrows. During a pre-draft interview, the Pats staff asked what he liked to do outside football. Gronk's answer, I like to watch cartoons, SpongeBob, followed by his signature goofy laugh. He supposedly even fell asleep in the waiting room before that meeting, sprawled on the floor using his suit jacket as a pillow. This frat boy charm didn't fit the Pats' usual buttoned-up image. Still, coaches saw through the goofiness. Gronk was a good kid with a good heart and phenomenal talent. New England took a chance, and it wouldn't take long for Gronkowski to start rewriting record books and topping party guest lists at the same time. Little did the Patriots know, they hadn't just drafted a star player, they'd unleashed a cultural phenomenon. Would Gronk's wild side derail his career or propel him to greatness? Gronkowski made an immediate impact. As a rookie in 2010, he hauled in 10 touchdown catches, instant fan favorite status. He grew up near Buffalo, in the heart of Bills Mafia territory, where epic tailgate parties are the norm. I'm from Buffalo. We love to have a good time. We love to do crazy things, said Gronk. That upbringing forged his fearless, fun-loving attitude. On the field, he was all business. Off the field, he was the life of every party. By his second season, Gronk had a breakout year in 2011 with 1,327 yards and an NFL record 17 touchdown receptions for a tight end. One game in particular showed us who he truly was. The 2011 divisional round against the Denver Broncos was when Gronk unleashed on the postseason stage. Under the lights in Foxborough, with the nation watching, he put together one of the most devastating playoff performances ever by a tight end. Gronk torched the Broncos secondary with 10 receptions for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns, tying an NFL postseason record. Every time Denver thought they had him bracketed, he slipped free. Every time Tim Tebow and the Broncos tried to mount a response, Gronk answered with another back-breaking play. It wasn't finesse, it was brute force. Watching him plow through linebackers and safeties, you realized there was no blueprint to stop him. By the time the Patriots closed out their 45-10 demolition of Denver, Gronk had cemented his place in Patriots history. 3 touchdowns in one postseason game is rare. Doing it with that level of swagger, that was Gronk at his most unstoppable. He spiked footballs through the earth and danced in the end zone, a 22-year-old on top of the world. Then came Gronk's first brush with controversy. After the Patriots' heartbreaking loss in Super Bowl 46 in early 2012, while most teammates were crushed, Gronk was spotted dancing shirtless on stage with the band LMFAO at the post-game party. Cue the media firestorm. Critics blasted him for partying after a defeat. Former Patriot Rodney Harrison called it just immaturity, not right. Gronkowski, however, shrugged it off. He explained that he'd given everything on the field and was devastated by the loss, but he wasn't going to mope all night. Instead, he blew off steam with his family and friends, saying everyone copes differently. The incident only added to the Gronk myth. Here was an elite athlete who could face a Super Bowl loss and dance like nobody's watching, all in the same night. On the field, comparisons to legendary tight end Tony Gonzalez started swirling. Could Gronk be the next GOAT at the position? Statistically, he was on pace, but lifestyle-wise, Gronk was in a league of his own. Tony was known for his professionalism and dunking the ball over the goalpost in celebration. Gronk, by contrast, was lifting guys over his head at nightclubs. Seriously, he once demonstrated how he'd carry and curl his buddies at the bar as a workout. In early 2016, during a brief injury downtime, Gronk took partying to international waters, literally, by hosting Gronk's Party Ship, a 3-day cruise to the Bahamas for fans. It was a floating fiesta with Gronkowski as the ringleader, complete with dance contests and an on-board casino. The cruise's gambling scene even caught the NFL's attention due to the league's strict anti-gambling policy. For a moment, officials wondered if this violated any rules. In the end, the league reviewed the event and found no policy violations. It turns out you can't flag a guy for partying on a boat. The whole saga only reinforced Gronk's image. He wasn't just participating in NFL culture, he was changing it on his own wild terms. Gronk was a certified superstar with a party animal reputation to match. But could he keep this up as the stakes and the parties got even bigger? Now we arrive at Gronkowski's peak era, roughly 2014 to 2018, years where his on-field dominance and off-field antics both hit full throttle. Boy, he sure was entertaining. Despite battling some injuries, Gronk racked up over 4,000 receiving yards and nearly 40 touchdowns in that span. More importantly, he helped deliver 3 Super Bowl titles to New England. Yes, 3.
Go, buddy. This is what we do. This is what we do.
In 2014, 2016, and 2018 seasons. In 2014, after coming back from a serious knee injury, Gronk was named NFL Comeback Player of the Year, a testament to his resilience and perhaps to how hard he trained, or partied, depending who you ask. By 2017, he was unstoppable again, with a first-team All-Pro nod and another championship on the horizon. The Patriots' juggernaut offense revolved around number 87 making impossible catches and bulldozing defenders, often with a grin on his face. When you talk about peak Gronk, one game instantly comes to mind. Week 15 of the 2017 season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. On paper, it looks like a regular season clash. In reality, it was a heavyweight fight with playoff implications on the line. That afternoon, Rob Gronkowski put together the best yardage performance of his career.
Going over the top, Gronkowski, he pulls it down at the 25.
168 receiving yards. But it wasn't just the numbers that made this game legendary. It was the timing. Pass after pass after pass, he was on one. With the Patriots trailing late, Tom Brady went to his go-to. Who else could he turn to? Gronk proceeded to rip the Steelers' defense apart, hauling in 3 straight passes for 69 yards on a single drive. The Steelers had no answer. Every time Brady looked his way, Gronk was there, moving the chains, dragging defenders, and silencing a roaring Heinz Field crowd. Then, as if the punishment wasn't enough, he capped the drive by catching a clutch 2-point conversion that sealed New England's 27-24 victory. That game wasn't just a statistical high point, it was the definition of dominance. He was rising above the moment when his team needed him most. Yet, even at his most dominant time, Gronkowski's party animal side got bigger and bigger with each win. He was honest and felt more alive every day. Gronk was happier than a new YouTuber with 1 billion views. His happiness was infectious. Stories swirled around the league, some so outrageous they're hard to believe. Case in point, one of Gronk's ex-teammates, Jack Bickett, told a story of Gronk's late-night routine that became instant NFL legend. According to Bickett, Gronk would go out with his crew until 3 or 4 a.m., then head straight to the team facility and pass out on a training table in the locker room. When team staff arrived in the morning, they'd find Gronk sound asleep. Instead of scolding him, they'd quietly stick an IV in his arm to rehydrate him. A couple hours later, Frankenstein Gronk would spring back to life and dominate the day's workout as if nothing happened. Unreal, right? The story quickly went viral, but his close friend Julian Edelman quickly defended it, calling it BS and saying everyone painted Gronk as a party animal when in reality he was one of the most dedicated teammates ever. So, was the tall tale true? Or just a tall tale? Only those inside the Patriots locker room know for sure. What it did was add to Gronk's larger-than-life persona. The line between fact and myth was forever blurred, or we thought it would be. Meanwhile, after the 2018 season, Gronkowski shocked fans by retiring at age of 29. Years of physical play and injuries had taken a toll, and it seemed the party was over. But you can't keep him away for long. In 2020, he surprised everyone by coming out of retirement to join his old pal Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Instantly, the Bucs got a jolt of Gronk energy, and it paid off. Gronkowski was a key piece in Tampa's offense, and the dynamic duo of Brady to Gronk went on to win Super Bowl 55, giving Gronk his 4th championship ring. Of course, the celebration that followed was normal Gronk. From the crazy boat parade in Tampa to joking about how he never truly stopped being in party mode, literally chucking the Super Bowl trophy from boat to boat. Crazy! Even during that comeback run, Gronk's approach to work still had his signature twist of fun. During the 2020 COVID-affected offseason, when players had to send coaches video proof of their at-home workouts, Gronk pulled a classic move. He recorded himself doing sprint drills one single day, but changed shirts multiple times, then sent those videos on different days to make it look like he was working out daily. In other words, he cheated the system so he could spend a little more time chilling. When this admission came out, fans laughed and said, "That's so Gronk!" And coaches even had to admit it was pretty clever. And did it hurt his performance? Not one bit. In 2020, Gronk still notched 45 catches and 7 TDs, and even scored 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl 55 victory. Gronkowski flat out delivered when it counted, proving that unconventional methods and a little partying on the side weren't going to slow him down. As Gronk himself explained to Jimmy Fallon, carrying his buddies around the club felt like a workout. "I'm lifting them, I'm curling them." I realized that translated to the football field. It sounds like a joke, but looking at the results, you almost have to believe him. Every wild ride has to end eventually, or does it? What happens when a party icon leaves the field? In 2022, after 2 seasons in Tampa, Gronkowski retired again, this time seemingly for good. He was 33, a 4-time champ, and had secured his legacy. The NFL world, especially Patriots and Bucs fans, immediately felt the void. You're missing someone that was one of the all-time greats, which you can't replace. Tom Brady said about Gronk's departure, "We all love him, and we miss him." New England never truly found another Gronk, and Tampa Bay had to move on without the big guy's infectious energy. As for Gronk himself, he didn't stray far from the spotlight. By 2024, the NFL's favorite party animal had brought his larger-than-life personality to TV, joining Fox Sports as an NFL analyst. Who better to light up a pregame show than Gronkowski? He'll spike your microphone if you're not careful. In typical fashion, he also dabbled in everything from WWE wrestling cameos to hosting crazy New Year's Eve parties on live TV. Retirement for Gronk just meant less blocking and more broadcasting, and probably a few more cruises and many late nights for the boys. Rob Gronkowski's football resume speaks for itself. 4 Super Bowl rings, 5 Pro Bowl selections, 4 first-time All-Pro nods, 92 career touchdowns, and over 9,300 receiving yards. Those are Hall of Fame numbers, no question. But beyond stats and trophies, Gronk's legacy includes a cultural shift in the NFL. He showed that you can authentically be yourself, goofy, fun, even outrageous, and still be one of the best ever. Gronk's influence on the next generation of tight ends is obvious. Kansas City's Travis Kelce and San Francisco's George Kittle, 2 of today's elite TEs, both have outsized personalities, and they credit Gronk for paving the way. He's loved by everybody. Gronk has that personality where he can electrify the room. He really paved the way for people to show their personality. That's better for the NFL, Kelce said. Kittle likewise noticed how Gronk played with personality and said it opened the door for guys like him to have fun and be themselves on the field. Even the great Tony Gonzalez, the previous gold standard at tight end, admits he wishes he'd let loose more. "I was afraid to show more of my personality," Gonzalez said, reflecting on Gronk's impact. If a player like Gronk had come around earlier, Tony mused, maybe he wouldn't have held back so much. In short, Gronkowski changed the culture. It's now okay for NFL stars to be larger-than-life characters, not just disciplined soldiers of the film room. He inspired teammates and even coaches to embrace a little more joy. Patriots coach Bill Belichick famously cracked a rare smile when describing Gronk. He's one of a kind. Today, when you see a player chug a celebratory beer or bust out a silly dance after a touchdown, that's a bit of Gronk's legacy living on. Of course, we have to ask, was all that partying a strength or a potential risk? But for him, it worked. Rob Gronkowski ends up as more than a football legend. He's a full-blown cultural icon. A kid from Buffalo who loved to party became a 4-time champion who did it his way. We'll remember the monster spike touchdowns and the cruise ship dance-offs in equal measure. In a sport known for seriousness and discipline, Gronk brought color and laughter, and still smashed records. The NFL's favorite party animal leaves us with a question to ponder. Was that party persona the secret sauce to his fearless greatness? One thing's for sure, we may never see another player quite like Rob Gronkowski. Football hero, party legend, and an inspiration to be fearless in being yourself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this ride, hit that like button and subscribe for more high-energy NFL stories.